Wire is brought to you by Resora. Elevate your real estate marketing with Resora. Effortlessly design, manage, and automate stunning email and social campaigns with our intuitive platform built for real estate. Say goodbye to complex marketing. Get started with your free account today at Resora.com. And by Notebook LM by Google. Unlock the power of your information with Notebook LM. Upload your documents and instantly access an expert AI that answers your questions, summarizes key points, and generates insights, all based on your specific sources. Become a knowledge master with Notebook LM. Try it now at notebooklm.google.
Okay, so last week was a wild one in real estate news.
It really was.
Just a ton happening.
Yeah.
And it seems like everything's kind of like connected, you know?
Oh, absolutely. There are some definite themes emerging, like a real power struggle brewing, especially when it comes to who controls the flow of listings.
Yeah. And like, what does that mean for buyers and sellers?
Exactly. So right off the bat, we had that two-part series from Art Carter, the CEO of CRMLS.
Oh, right, on the 21st and 22nd.
Yeah, and he basically dropped a bomb saying some major brokerages want to ditch the clear cooperation policy.
Whoa, that's huge. So like no more sharing listings on the MLS.
That's what they're pushing for. And it's not just about, double-ending deals. This is about funneling buyers to specific firms.
Which could really hurt both buyers and sellers, right?
Absolutely. Less transparency, fewer options. And speaking of transparency, the public is not on board with this at all.
Yeah, that Zillow-Harris poll that came out on the 21st.
Right. It showed that people overwhelmingly want access to all listings. They want to see everything on Zillow, Redfin, all those sites.
They want the whole picture. So is this just a power play by these big firms?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. I mean, they argue they have legitimate concerns about data privacy and market manipulation.
But the data seems to suggest otherwise, right? I mean, that same Zillow article cited a study from Bright MLS.
Yeah, showing homes listed on the MLS actually sell for higher prices.
So limiting access could actually hurt sellers in the long run.
It's definitely a possibility.
Interesting.
And then, as if that wasn't enough to stir the pot, you have the launch of Final Offers PX platform on the 22nd.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
A private network for sharing off-market and pre-MLS listings.
So is this like the MLS's worst nightmare?
Well, it's not that simple. See, Final Offers still allows agents to toggle listings onto the MLS if they choose.
So it's more of a testing ground, maybe?
Yeah, it could be a way for agents to experiment with pricing strategy, gather feedback before going public.
So it could actually enhance the MLS in a way.
Possibly, yeah. But it definitely adds another layer of complexity to this whole debate about control and access to listings.
It's like the Wild West out there right now.
Oh.
Okay, let's switch gears for a second and talk about the rental market.
Okay.
Because things are getting kind of crazy there too.
Yeah, for sure. So we had some interesting data come out from Realtor.com and Redfin, both on the 23rd.
Okay.
And they kind of paint a conflicting picture, which is fascinating.
Right.
So Realtor.com is saying multifamily rents have actually been easing for 17 straight months in the 50 largest metros.
That's a pretty long time.
Yeah, but then Redfin is showing that single-family rents are actually surging nationwide.
So what's going on there?
Well, it seems like there are different forces at play in different segments of the market, like maybe an oversupply of new apartment buildings in some areas, pushing down multifamily rents.
And then maybe on the single family side, you have more people getting priced out of buying, so they're stuck renting bigger houses instead.
Exactly. And don't forget that NAHB analysis from the 21st that showed millions of young adults are still living at home with their parents.
Yes, that's tough.
Yeah, high rents are definitely delaying home ownership for a lot of people.
So this whole rent versus buy debate is more complicated than ever.
Oh, absolutely. And agents need to be able to guide their clients through it, help them weigh their options and figure out what makes the most sense for their situation.
That's a whole new ballgame out there. Speaking of complicated, let's talk about those mortgage rate swings.
Oh, yeah, buckle up for that one.
Because it's been a roller coaster ride.
Mm.
I mean, Freddie Mac reported on the 23rd, rates dipped below 7% for the first time in weeks.
Right.
And I know a lot of buyers were like breathing a sigh of relief.
I'm sure they were.
But then you have all this analysis coming out from like Bright MLS and Mortgage News Daily saying don't get too excited.
Yeah, they're suggesting rates aren't going to plummet anytime soon. In fact, some experts are predicting they might even go up in the coming months.
Because of inflation.
Yeah. And just general economic uncertainty. Oh, and then there's the potential impact of those tariffs that Trump proposed on the 21st.
Right, targeting China, Canada, and Mexico.
Yeah, those could definitely add fuel to the inflation fire and push rates higher.
So a lot of uncertainty there.
Absolutely. I mean, even Fannie Mae revised their year-end rate prediction upward on the 23rd, citing that economic uncertainty.
So it's like a wait-and-see game right now. Okay, let's pivot to the political arena.
Right.
Because the Trump administration made some waves last week with that executive order aimed at providing emergency price relief.
Yeah, that was on the 21st. And it's a little vague on the details, but it basically directs federal agencies to cut housing regulations.
So less red tape, more affordable housing.
That's the idea, at least. And the NAHB was pretty happy about it. They actually released their own 10-point plan outlining specific regulatory changes they think could help.
So they see this as a potential turning point.
They do. But of course, there are critics who worry that deregulation could lead to lower construction standards, or environmental damage.
So it's a balancing act.
It always is. And then to make things even more interesting, you have those other executive orders that Trump reinstated on the 21st.
Oh, yeah, like the federal hiring freeze.
Right. And the return to office mandate, the elimination of DEI initiatives.
Yeah.
All those could have some pretty big ripple effects on the housing market.
Especially in certain areas.
Exactly. Like in D.C., Bright MLS released an analysis suggesting that the hiring freeze could actually cool demand and lower prices there.
Because fewer people are moving for government jobs.
Right. But then the return to office mandate could actually increase demand in some areas as people try to live closer to work.
So it's kind of a push and pull.
It is. And it just shows how these political decisions can have really unpredictable consequences on the housing market.
Okay, let's move on to something a little less headline grabbing.
Yeah.
But still super important for agents to understand. Appraisal adjustments.
Oh, yeah. Those are crucial.
So NAR published an article on the 24th stressing the need for accurate adjustments, especially with the market changing so fast.
Right, because an outdated appraisal can really derail a deal.
And Wallet Solutions pointed out that appraisers are facing a lot of challenges right now, especially with unique properties or those in rural areas where there's not a lot of comparable data.
Yeah, it's tough to find those comps. But this is where those new AI tools could really come in handy.
Oh, right, like NARA mentioned in their article on the 24th.
Exactly. AI can analyze huge amounts of data, spot patterns that humans might miss.
So it could lead to more accurate and efficient appraisals.
Hopefully, yeah. But it's important to remember what Michelle Chakowski-Bradley from the Appraisal Standards Board said.
Oh, yeah.
That AI should enhance human expertise, not replace it.
So it's all about finding that balance.
Always.
Okay, I think we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have, but there's still more to unpack. Another thing that's been top of mind for a lot of folks is this whole rent versus buy dilemma.
Yeah, with rates still kind of high. It's a tough call.
It really is. And agents need to be ready to have those conversations with their clients,
Oh, for sure. Arm yourself with the data.
Exactly. And speaking of data, Realtor.com just put out a report showing multifamily rents have actually been dropping for 17 straight months in those big metro areas.
Wow, 17 months. That's a trend.
It is. But then you have Zillow saying single-family rents are actually higher than multifamily.
So it's not as simple as just saying rent is cheaper than buying right now.
Nope. It's way more nuanced than that. And then you layer on top of that NAHB analysis showing all those young adults still living at home.
Yeah, it's a whole generation getting priced out.
It really is. And it makes you wonder, what's the long-term impact going to be?
Right. Are we going to see a whole shift in how people think about home ownership?
Maybe. It's definitely something to keep an eye on. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the luxury market.
Ooh, fancy.
Right. So HousingWire did a piece last week on Sotheby's 2025 Luxury Outlook report. And get this, they're predicting a surge in international buyers.
Really?
Yeah. After being kind of quiet for a while, they're coming back. Strong dollar, maybe a sense of stability. Who knows?
Interesting.
And it's not just international buyers. Sotheby's is also pointing to single women and younger generations as major players in the luxury market.
So the whole image of the, typical luxury buyer is changing.
It is, yeah. More diversity, different needs, different expectations.
Say just got to adapt.
Absolutely. Oh, and speaking of adapting, we can't forget about rentals.
Right. I mean, Housing Wire called them the no longer dirty little secret of real estate.
I loved that because it's so true. Rentals are becoming a lifestyle choice for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's not just about being able to afford to buy or not. It's about flexibility, you know?
Exactly. And with more remote work and the whole sharing economy thing, I think we're going to see even more people choosing to rent.
So agents got to be ready to serve that market too.
Oh, for sure. Whether it's finding rentals for clients, managing investment properties, whatever. It's a growing niche.
Opportunity knocks.
It does. You know, this kind of brings us back to those appraisal adjustments we were talking about earlier.
Oh, right, because those can really make or break a deal.
And NAR was really stressing the importance of accurate adjustments in their article.
Yeah, especially in a market like this where things are moving so fast.
And appraisers are having a tough time keeping up.
Especially with those unique properties like Wallet Solutions was saying.
Right. Finding good comps is hard enough as it is. But that's where those AI tools could be a game changer.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how that all plays out.
Me too. I mean, if AI can help appraisers make better, faster decisions, that could be huge.
But we got to make sure it's used responsibly. You know, like Michelle Chikowski-Bradley said, it should enhance human expertise, not replace it.
Totally agree. Okay, we've covered a lot here, but there's one more big elephant in the room we got to address. Yep. Even though he's not in office, his presence is still looming large over the real estate market.
Like with those tariffs he's proposing.
Right, and those executive orders he reinstated, all that stuff creates uncertainty, which makes it hard to plan for the future.
It's like trying to hit a moving target.
Exactly. So agents need to stay informed, stay flexible, and be ready for anything.
And maybe have a stiff drink every now and then.
Maybe so. You know, this whole conversation reminds me of something I read the other day. It was an opinion piece in Housing Wire, and it was talking about how...
So much to think about, right?
It is, yeah. Like drinking from a fire hose sometimes.
Totally. But before we wrap up, there's one more thing I wanted to touch on. Sustainability.
Oh, yeah. That's huge right now. And it's only getting bigger.
It feels like buyers are really starting to prioritize it.
Oh, absolutely. Energy efficiency, eco-friendly materials, all that stuff.
Solar panels, smart home tech, you name it.
It's not just about being green, though. It can actually save people money, too.
Right. Lower utility bills, higher property values.
Exactly. So agents who can really speak to that, who can showcase those features, they're going to have a leg up.
For sure. It's a whole new area of expertise.
It is. Well, I think we've given our listeners plenty to chew on today.
We have. It's been a whirlwind tour of the real estate landscape, all the latest news, trends, challenges, opportunities.
Whole shebang.
And it's clear things are changing fast.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. So if I could leave our listeners with one piece of advice, it would be this. Stay informed, stay adaptable, stay proactive.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yep.
The market's going to keep throwing curveballs.
It will, but that's also what makes it so exciting, right?
Absolutely. Always something new to learn, new strategies to master.
And hey, that's what we're here for, to help you navigate it all.
That's right. We're in this together. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of real estate.
Until next time, stay curious and keep those deals flowing.
And remember, knowledge is power.
Hey there, thanks for tuning into The Wire. If you're enjoying the show and want to help us keep bringing you the latest in real estate, visit us at thewire.fm and click the Support the Wire button in the main navigation. Your support makes all the difference. Thank you. The Wire has been brought to you by Resora. Elevate your real estate marketing with Resora. Effortlessly design, manage, and automate stunning email and social campaigns with our intuitive platform built for real estate. Say goodbye to complex marketing. Get started with your free account today at Resora.com. And by Notebook LM by Google. Unlock the power of your information with Notebook LM. Upload your documents and instantly access an expert AI that answers your questions, summarizes key points, and generates insights, all based on your specific sources. Become a knowledge master with Notebook LM. Try it now at notebooklm.google.